Hello everybody and welcome to another video tutorial. For this week's video tutorial you guys voted and you guys chose the Satyr, so that's what I will be working on today. Now as I was working on this image I was pretty cut close for time, so what I did do is I actually experimented with a different brush. I used very much a textured brush. It's similar to the chalk brush, except it has essentially gaps when you paint with it. So it has a really unique attribute. I haven't tried this brush before this painting, but I liked it because it allowed me to really loosen up in my drawing, which really helped in this character's posing. Now, what I did too is during the day I was working, so I actually did some quick thumbnails about the pose to figure out what pose I would use for this character as well. So by the time it came to actually working on this image, I already had a general idea of the subject matter, of the pose, and a lot of the basic elements that go into a good composition. So when it came to the painting part, I had figured that out, and this image actually only ended up taking about 2 hours from start to finish, and that was while working on a live YouTube hangout. In between, I was still able to finish off the image in another hour or so. So very quick image, didn't take too long, and I'm very pleased with it because it's very loose as an image. I did lower the resolution though, just to make it a bit faster for the painting, just because some of the texture brushes can actually slow down the interface quite a bit. But as you can see, it did make a big difference in the recording either way. So one of the key things I had to look at, obviously I needed to find what my source material was. When I initially started sketching the horns, because I was obviously basing off of RAM, I based it off memory, and it turns out that I had actually rotated it the wrong way, so I looked it up. And sure enough, I hadn't done it correctly, so I just repainted it over. So that just goes to show the importance of research and how it can really help prevent any mistakes as well. Because I am trying to stay somewhat true to modern day perceptions of the Satyr, it was important that I still base it on some form of reality. So I obviously was looking at goat leg references to figure out how the anatomy would actually work. That's a huge thing that was very important early on in this painting. So understanding how the hooves would actually attach to a human leg was very important. And how it would be functional as well, because if it doesn't make sense anatomically, it's just not going to work as an overall design either. So as you can see, I'm moving up the head, because I realized the head was too close to the body first off. In the initial portion, when I first started drawing this image, you may have noticed that I actually also changed the location of the head as well as the size. I really liked the image that I had worked out, however the size of the head was just too overpowering for the rest of the design. It also didn't give the character that heroic proportion that I was looking for. And generally if you want to make a character look very heroic-like, you generally shrink the head down quite a bit in comparison to an actual human proportion. There's a couple ways where that can help. In certain sculptures, and I believe in Greek and possibly some other cultures, at some point actually discovered that you can shrink the head and the proportions to get a very semblance of a proportioned figure from below. So that's the general idea behind that. So as you can see, I'm almost done. I'm just adding the final highlights, final details to this image before it's actually completed. So as you can see, I added some floor shadows just to give some substance to the character as well. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys soon. So thank you and take care.